remember how to just carry your team.
Isn't that one of the qualities of the top tier, though?
Yeah.
You know, it's like the fanatics, the envies. You know, it's like there's just so much raw aim and talent on each of these teams that, all right, your star isn't hitting it, your shots. Well, then his support player is going to come in and actually start getting some headshots. And well, there you go. Speak of the devil. NCL takes a bullet to the face as Fur takes that peek into mid. He's spotting at Arch as well. He's going to be able to get out of here just in time. And the Mongolz, man, they are just not backing up. Only problem is they've forgotten one thing. That bomb, it's at the bottom of mid. So if Zilkenberg gets caught out by that push coming down Banana, it's going to end poorly. Well, it's
going to end poorly either way.
It's going to end poorly either way, I think.
Yeah, they all just get clotheslined there by Fur and Cold. So sick pistol round from LG. And this is going to be something scary for the Mongolz on the T side here is Luminosity. If they decide to go this no respect, peek everything style, deny them any kind of map control whatsoever. Mongolz is going to have to figure out some way. And it's not going to work with aim against, this is the big thing, it's not going to work with just aim against these top teams. They're going to have to find a strategic way, use the nades properly to do it. And LG has so much more experience with that.
Yeah, I mean, LG are just going toe-to-toe with the very best in the world right now. So if you really want to look for an aim fight with these guys, it's not going to go your way. And look at this, just total lack of respect from Luminosity. They're just going to power down mid with the HEs. There is, I mean, a bit of a peak there. You see what's coming, but that really is just like, okay, you know, you're talking on your phone, you look up, oh, you're in the wrong lane, and the semi's coming right at you, and there's no time to actually get out of it. You know, put on the brakes, you're just done.
You just took that to a really dark place. To a really dark place. Why not?
That actually happened to my dad once, apparently. He wasn't talking on his phone. This was when he was growing up, obviously. He had a lot of, you know. But he just felt like he worked the night shift, fell asleep, woke up, Semi's in front of him, swerves out of the way, and it takes off his mirror, right? Heart attack. It's just like, okay, that was really close to me not being here to talk to you today, Moses.
Yeah, that would be a shame. And there's a little bit of a nade stack. Actually, look at this. It does a massive, or not massive, but it does a lot of damage to LG. That's a cool idea, but the Mongolz have just, you know, once again, LG just runs past all those nades. So Mongolz are like, all right, if you're going to push down and show us no respect. I was wondering, because it's very rare you see a terrorist side on their eco rounds pick up like 4 HE grenades.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. Just misses a little bit. Maybe not expecting, again, that much aggression, but there's Menace with 1. They've gotten 2 kills, but not much more for Menace to do here. So next round is going to be the real test, right? It's going to be the AKs are out. Are you going to be able to stop any pressure that Luminosity decides to put on?
Yeah, exactly. And well, I mean, now we have to see if Luminosity are going to decide to change the pace themselves, right? If they're going to say, okay, well, maybe we go for some aggressive peaks, but then we're also going to sweat you out, see how you react to a slow pace. If we give you some space to work with, considering Mongolz right now have very little utility, literally, you know, 5 smokes, an HE, and a flash.
Yeah.
So
that goes right back, though, to the HEs they just bought. And they also had some upgraded pistols, as well as the full buyout in the second round. So, yeah, now it's going to be really, really tough for them. At least they have the smokes. No Molotovs or real any kind of HE grenades to deal some damage, force them away from some of the common positions.
We have to see. I mean, they do spread out at the bottom, expecting that aggression. And again, Luminosity, I like the gamble coming out from Luminosity as well. They're like, well, okay, if Mongolz are feeling the pressure, they might try and go for a rush somewhere. Where can we actually stack up? Put 3 guys over on B. They put the bottom banana smoke as well, just to make it even more difficult for Mongolz if they decided to press through. I mean, Luminosity trying to set up that standard anti-rush kind of play. And now they rotate back to more of a default sort of setup, 3 players on A, 2 on B. And now they just get to sit and wait until that 50-second mark before they really start pressing around to find out where the Mongolz are going.
Yeah, not a bad decision from Luminosity either. I mean, this is a team, you know, that they've never played, so, you know, it's maybe not even scouted that much of because you don't see them very often. And look at this, for playing behind a smoke in middle, finds the angle, NCL's down. But just making sure they're set up in a default, prepared for anything, just to see what Mongolz are going to come out with.
That's right on the money. Fur takes that peek, and now the smoke goes down to block off short, block off quad, but first still here on Arch, expecting some kind of wrap coming through there. It's a little bit later, but Zilkenberg will get that shoulder peek, so a little bit of information there gained for the Mongolz. Now, can they act off of that? Because you already have the hard rotation coming out here from Luminosity. They leave 1 player alone on B, hard rotate, 4 players now on the A side, ready to greet him, and then, well, following with that AWP, just looking to find a shot.
Yeah, there's a nice kill, so now they can find something to do, and actually Fur, he's just going to swing out, but Zilkenberg, it looks like he wins that. Now Sogu, he grabs 1, but he's quickly into a 1-on-2, and the bomb is so incredibly far. I think it's actually in library, so this round is essentially over.
And they realize this. Look at this, Luminosity. Oh, Fallen will, you know, basically just cross the I's, dot the T's. Or do the opposite of that, but, you know, he still lands the shot, so. Took me a second there to catch up. I was like, wait a second.
I liked it. Either way, I mean, the Mongolz, they try and do that wrap step, and they get stopped, and they just kind of forget, once again, losing track of the bomb maybe a little bit. So that's unfortunate, but that was kind of the duel they wanted to find. They had Machine Gun and Zilken, you know, they're 2 heavy hitters at that long range to take that battle. Couldn't really find it though, so LG now with a 4-round lead, and it is investment for Mongolz. No smoke, the Tech 9 in armor at first, not prepared for someone to be that close. He falls, and now it's just Taco here, but I mean, the Mongolz don't want to go through that smoke.
This is just a little bit scary. There is a rotation coming out here as well, though. FNX is going to get in position to back up Taco in case Mongolz did try and rush through. And that's pretty sick. He's going to manage those weapons, drop that M4A1 on the other side, and there we go, the big push. And good thing he swapped back to the A4. More than enough bullets to get the job done there for Taco. Sick hold on his part. Quad kill in the end. FNX, he's just like, FNX, thanks, but I don't need you.
Well, the cool thing, too, Cold had pushed out towards A Hall, so no matter what Mongolz did there, if they fell back, they would have just been another crossfire setup. So Luminosity exploiting the whole map here, and Mongolz are reeling a little bit. Now we see Machine Gun on the AWP. It wouldn't usually it's Silkenberg who's their opper.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I
think this is like a lack of confidence, Machine Gun, sitting at towards the bottom of the scoreboard, maybe not feeling it with the AK, wants to switch things up.
Exactly, maybe just trying to feel things out here. A little bit of a change of pace. I mean, Fur's playing a little bit more careful and mid not going for that early peak.
There has been a lot of pressure put on by Luminosity, so maybe thinking if we can get the op out, if they're going to peek us like this, we're going to be able to pick them off. But this time, Luminosity, they get out towards Car, but they don't fully peek it. Doesn't matter. Menace opens things up. Fur is down.
Sick shot by Menace. He eventually got there. Realizes that the smoke was just a little off to the side there. Just putting some shots through. One of them catches Fur. And now we're off to a good start here for Mongolz. They have actually, you know, a decent amount of utility to work with here as well. Near full smokes. Actually, full smokes, Molotovs, the whole kit and caboodle. So they're going to be very thorough about clearing out apartments as well. I like it. This is the attention to detail. If they were really feeling the pressure, if they were really feeling the hurt, they might forget some of these things. But they remember to use the Molotovs to clear out apartments to make their lives easier. This is the kind of thorough play that we need to see. Although crouching right into Fallen's crosshairs isn't exactly the best situation there.
No, maybe not realizing that there was a gap in that smoke. Stopping at the perfect angle for Fallen just to get a free kill. And now what is it? Sogu turns into a lurker, 3 members over towards Banana, but they shy away from that. Smoke just gets deployed at B, and they fall away. So Sogu all of a sudden might be turning into a point man, but Fallen's going to get the first kill and fall back perfectly. Flashbang to slow him down, and he has a brand new angle.
Yeah, and this is so sick. Now Sogu's trying to find that fight, but he's not going to get it. Cold with the double kill, in fact. Peeks out, takes out Silkenberg, and then Fallen just annihilates Machine Gun. So 6-0 lead right now for Mongolz, for Luminosity, and Mongolz just struggling to keep up. There was an idea there. I mean, they had the fake. They had the fake on B, right? They were forcing that extra man. I believe that was Taco to rotate back to B.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, they just run headlong into Fallen, who's not missing shots right now. 7-0-0 for Fallen.
Yeah, none of Luminosity are, and they're applying the pressure at all the perfect times. And Mongolz just can't find the kills to open things up. But they do have the full losing bonus, so that's why you see these half buys coming out. I mean, every time trying to keep the economy in check. It's not working too well, but they are buying their Tech 9s, their Deagles, their armor, some utility to use. Just Luminosity outplaying them in every aspect so far. This is the map, too, by the way, that the Mongolz won the championship in Taipei, where they just ran over Renegades.
They're learning there's a bit of a difference in caliber here that they have to deal with. And Cold, wow, yeah. It's a straight up peak. I mean, that's all about luck, right? Because they come out of second mid. The timing just couldn't be better for him to back off. And Menace is actually going to find the kill onto Fur. So Cold still continues to hold the angle. He gets spotted, though, and now they have a little bit more to go off of here, Mongolz. This time it's a quad wrap, and they're just going to go straight up onto that A site. But Taco's here to hold the line. He's got the Tech 9, and he just needs to stay alive. If he can keep dancing like this, it's going to be good. But that is all that they get, actually. Fallen, now the last man alive on this B site. What the hell happened to Taco's defense? To the rest of his team?
Yeah, the rotation got cut off towards CT spawn, and that defense eventually just crumbled. So Mongolz with those Tech 9s just swarm in. As we see so often when you get locked out on gun rounds, every once in a while, these teams are able to kind of readjust on these force buys. Fallen's even going to stick around to make sure he gets eliminates a couple more players. Doesn't look like they want to chase down this AWP. Keep the guns they have. They have one op, they have an AK, they have 2 rifles, so bring those into the next round, play a little bit of the econ game. Meta's just making sure nothing tricky is happening, but still, commanding lead for Luminosity. It's going to be 1-6.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that Machine Gun's showing some restraint as well. Gets up the top Banana. Doesn't look like he's going to go any further than that. So, wow, Mongolz on the board. So what is the goal here again? Moses, double digits. That's what
double
we're looking
digits
for here for Mongolz.
Yeah, Yanko doesn't think they're going to be able to get to double digits in any match. And they have a tough road ahead of them because they've already played NIP, they've already played Mouse Sports, which you would imagine would be the 2 other weaker teams in the group, and they haven't been able to do it quite yet. So now they got to do it against Luminosity, Fnatic, or Na'Vi.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's considering the fact that NiP just went the distance with Fnatic on Inferno.
Right.
There's just a little bit of a gap there. So it only gets harder from here. But then again, Mongolz, you know, once they start sensing, well, our backs are to the wall, there's really nothing to lose for us now. We have to go. Let's say Fallen will get caught by that flash at top banana. And now, well, we have to see if Mongolz are just going to decide to brave this or not. They do get control. No, not yet. But there's the incendiary that will allow them to get control of top banana. And then Zilkenberg just decides to step in there and take that man fight.
Yeah, one pop flash from Machine Gun. Just one flash instead of that molly. And now, oh, he just walks through. And once again, just assuming that smoke is going to be perfect. So just getting a little bit lackadaisical, or a lot lackadaisical,
Yeah.
really.
And just like that, they're down 2 players here, Mongolz, in a key round. This will reset their economy if they lose it. So there's a lot of pressure now on them to just step up, start finding some shots. Menace is actually holding banana. He's the one who's been actually connecting with some shots so far in this first half. And coldzera takes one to the face immediately there. But then they're still Fallen to hold the line at car. And Fallen can just sit there with the op and back off. He can take a shot, back off, still feel relatively safe, especially having put that smoke down.
Yeah, but they have so much map control denied them. You can see, I mean, they're trying to work their way up middle here, but it's going to be a little bit aggressive. I mean, Fnac's going to let it, or I mean, Luminosity's going to let him get that bracket control, but from there it's going to be a fight the whole way. And yeah, Fur's been a boss this whole event so far. That Molotov's going to slow him down on lane side. 25 seconds left. Clock is ticking here.
It's one of FNX's favorite spots as well. He's usually so very good at landing shots off of it, keeping that element of surprise. There's the full flash, drops the bomb carrier. There's still a man up in apartments, but he's blocked off by the man holding pit. And as I say, Taco's there to get the first kill, and Taco with the second one. So solid hold there on the A site, and that is just going to be the hard reset here for Mongolz, who are just going to force up, no fear.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could see that pop flash into the choke point for Luminosity just helps Cold so much. Just swing out and get a couple, you know, free damage, free kills. Same kind of pop flash that Mongol should have thrown over at B to start the round off. So yeah, it is a forced buy into this. They did get their economy reset, but because they were able to salvage 3 guns from the round they won, they still had plenty of money to pick up a good amount of rifles and utility here. And the Op's holding it, but misses the angle, and then he just has to back away because Fallen grabs the advantage.
Yeah, great restraint actually shown there by Machine Gun. I feel like Machine Gun, we've seen him play like a month ago. He might have tried to go for that peak. That would have been too easy for Fallen. He was perfectly set up for that, and now... So Mongolz, I mean, they have the op, still some utility, and again, they want to keep going for this peak over the smoke. I do like this a lot, because there's the free shot. Taco decides to take the fight, and there's the punish. Machine Gun not going to miss that easy target. So now things, again, now Mongolz actually have a man advantage to work with here. We have to see how they decide to take advantage of that, because they are going to be able to push up towards top banana, get control of that, set, perhaps open up the B site.
Yeah, but Luminosity isn't rotating anyone over towards the B side initially. Now one's starting to slowly cheat over, just in case. And that's going to be what can you find. Looking to see if there's anyone towards triple or dark. Not going to see anyone, though. FNX still here, just waiting to drop that smoke. I mean, that's a lot of restraint as well. Under a minute left. Now he's going to start feeling the pressure. I imagine it's going to come out pretty soon as that molly expires. Which is a Mongolz Molotov, and actually helps FNX feel a little bit more comfortable because they don't want to run through that, obviously.
Yeah, now that smoke goes down. It's going to leave them with very little time. And it is going to be, once again, a fake. Like, they set up the smokes, Mongolz. They did actually apply some pressure towards banana, so they got the man to rotate off. And then Sogu comes through. He takes out Fallen. That's up in apartments. And now it's going to be Cold here in pit. Sogu's going to take one to the side of the head. No, he doesn't. He actually manages to back off. And now they have information on where Cold is playing from. Fur with the rotation, though, is going to take out Machine Gun. And then Cold is just wrecking them from the pit. It's all down to Menace and Zilkenberg now with 10 seconds left. They need to find the bomb plant somehow. And Menace, he's just going to stuff himself into a corner and get it done. His teammate is all the way on the other side of the map right now.
Yeah, he was trying to hold off his plant as long as possible. Now it's just a lost round. Zilkenberg, just save your AK. Can't win this one. Defuse is going to come in no matter what happens in that duel. So Cold stays alive in pit. He ends with 3 kills. Fur on the rotation. That looks so good for Mongolz for a while. Unfortunately, in the end, it just drops off. Can't clear that player out of pit, and he just wins everything for Luminosity.
Yeah, Cold really, really solid, despite having the info on the fact that he was there as well. Mongolz just get ripped to shreds, and well, 10 kills for Fallen. He's finally died once at least. 10-2 for Taco. So they're both looking very solid right now, although it's Fur topping it out with the 3 MVPs. Again, mid pressure with the HEs, and then they just take that fight straight up, peeking into second mid. This is a force buy coming in from Mongolz as well. Sogu's got the AK, but the rest of his teammates, they're sitting on pistols right now, so not the best firepower for the Mongolian team to work with here.
Yeah, and then FNX just falls back with that kill. Not willing to give Mongolz the equalizer. And he's going to grab one more, changes his positioning. He still hasn't taken a point of damage, so he's been very mobile, very aggressive. Mongolz just can't stop it. Now look at what they have on the minimap. They have no map control, and they have players spread out across. There's really not too much they can do here. Grouping up towards B, but LG's in an aggressive posture and Fallen still just not missing whatsoever.
And this is where you really start to see the difference. Perhaps Machine Gun you know, versus the teams he's used to playing against. Somebody would peek out on Banana, you know, getting hungry for frags on the CT side, wanting a piece of the action. And no, Luminosity, I mean, it will be cold to take the fight in the end when he's feeling confident.
Yeah.
But up until that point, Luminosity are still just like paying out that rope to let the Mongols hang themselves with. They're just, Fallen just sits there and holds the angle. He doesn't give them a way back into the round.
Yeah, now pause called for Mongolz. So it's up towards 9-1. Mongolz trying to just grab some of the last, you know, 5 rounds in this half. They could use them.
They could use them, yeah, they could definitely use them.
But yeah, this is the thing. You could see that Mongols are just kind of struggling to find ways to get kills that they normally get. It's, you know, this style of play against this level of competition is getting a little bit punished. Well, a lot of it punished.
A lot of it, yeah. 9-1. It's not exactly the super healthy scoreline.
No, not the ideal situation.
And the fact that, I mean, it's not like these rounds have been really, you know, close. And the fact that just Luminosity have all of the nades as well, you know, so they're trying to think through their options like, okay, do we rush? But, you know, Luminosity are just throwing out anti-rush nades because they have all the money in the world, so they have all the utility. So it's just like Luminosity right now are just taking away so many options for the Mongols that when the Mongols decide to try and go aggressive, they're getting repulsed. If they go and try and play passive and aim duel, they're losing all their aim duels. Cold is just like, another point on the board.
Well, they're just playing like this Luminosity brand of Counter-Strike, which is kind of like once you have that man advantage, there's not too many kills. In general, Luminosity is very good at not giving kills away, and Mongolz is having a really tough time finding ways to take those kills. I mean, they're against the teams like the competition that we saw in Taipei, some of the teams they probably normally play against in the Asian region. You know, players will make those mistakes and maybe push forward, get a little over-aggressive, a little bit impatient, and Luminosity's not giving them that.
It's just incredible right now. And I mean, they're also probably dealing with the realization, you know, that's like a totally different beast.
Yeah.
You may watch the streams and be like, okay, I can see why they're doing this. But then once you're on the server playing against a team like Luminosity, playing against a team like even Mouse Sports or NIP, it's not a fun time. There's a huge gap. Being able to just, you know, watch something and then actually be able to execute that in-game yourself with your team. Nothing seems to be going the Mongols' way. But they are going to try and change it up a little bit at least. Go power, you know, they're just powering through second mid right now. Hoping to get up into apartments fairly quickly, it seems. Right now, Zilkenberg is going to be the one taking point there. And they have NCL also setting up for the little bit of the peak in mid. Sogu is there as well.
And they're completely blocked off by smoke, Molotov, so whatever tactic they wanted to do is delayed just a little bit. You could see this time, though, you're exactly right. They're not going for any kind of banana control, and then actually Zilkenberg just kind of gets given. Taco just falls away from it. I think he realized someone had gotten a position on him, didn't want to re-peek it or even shoulder peek it.
Decides to just change it up. He's like, okay, if you want to try and take advantage of the fact that you have that angle now, I'll be waiting for you on truck. A little bit of an off angle for him. Well, now we have to see. Mongols right now, what needs to happen, I think, is just they just need to group up as 5 and go powering through on choose like one spot and just run at them, get those headshots. Because the more subtle kind of pick-based play is just not working out for them right now. Luminosity are not giving them the option to.
Yeah, I agree. Just play the trade game. Smoke some things off. Get it, and it looks like they want to do it towards Rap side. Library is going to be smoked off, so is Archway. So pretty good set nades coming out, but FNX still at the corner. He's going to flash for nothing. Oh, I don't think he spotted anything.
I don't think he did either. Probably the Molotov smoke actually saving him there, but let's see. I mean, Mongols, 25 seconds left. Now they have to make the push. FNX is at risk, but he manages to get onto the site, turns around, takes out Sogu, trades up, takes 1 for 2, and then Fur comes right through the smoke from Library. Well, not even a smoke blocking him. Maybe it cleared. But he just comes wrapping right on through, shoots him in the back, and Mongols, they just can't seem to find anything to go their way right now.
No, they used a lot of utility for that execution and getting in position, and then once they actually execute, they didn't really have anything left, and that allows Luminosity, and Fur just comes right through that smoke. You know, FNX gets 2, and then Fur has a couple free kills, so slow things down. I mean, this is where that nade come in, where this economy for Luminosity is so effective. You can just, you have so many nades left late in the round.
And here we go. And now they're starting to just decide, hey, well, Fallen's playing with the op over on B. Maybe if we rush him with pistols, we can take him out. We can just overwhelm him. NCL's going to be able to pick up 1, but then Fallen shows, you know, the Mongolz, he's got a Tech 9 too, and that he can ball. You know, he can play ball. He can ball too, you know, he can...
Ball out of control?
Ball out of control.
Is that where you wanted to go with that one?
Yeah, the brain... Not really following up.
Yeah, once again, that's high for Mongolz. It's just the utility game. They ran through a Molotov, don't have a flashbang for that corner, so easy picking for Luminosity. This time, though, Mongolz have everything they could want, except for maybe an AWP. Even that didn't have much of an impact. But at least they have all their smokes, they have their own flashbangs and Molotovs. More aggression from Fallen, he's going to win that. Peeks the crack, Zilkenberg not ready, and Fallen's just going to stay aggressive. He's going hunting now, misses that shot, a rare miss, and almost gets machine gun on the fallback, but jumps over the bullet.
And in the meantime, they're aggressive over on A apartments as well right now. Luminosity are tired of showing respect. They're just going to go ahead, get aggressive everywhere across the map, close this out, and truly destroy the Mongols. I mean, their morale, Mongols really aren't going to have much confidence to work with here. Look at this, even with the trick plays, even with the trick plays.
Do it, jump around the corner.
Are you kidding me? Wow, is he really like aiming up just so that, no way. What the hell are we watching, Moses?
That's such a dick move. Oh my lord.
Ultimate lack of respect.
Nicely done. That was they've walked so far. Coordinated.
And I think like Fallen also like I think does he actually intentionally like stick the op barrel up so that Cold can see him through the smoke or something? Like where he is? I don't know, man. This is ridiculous.
I think he's trying to just tell where his teammate on top of him is, where Cold was, so he could.
It works
move
out
with him.
though.
Yeah,
it works. That is so sick.
Getting a little creative here.
Yeah, the Mongols have definitely got to be feeling a little frustrated. I mean, they're getting style points right now, Luminosity. Whereas Mongols, it's still the struggle. It remains eternal. Cold is even laying a trap right here. Fallen, is he going to be able to get... Yeah. No, Fallen's setting up the smoke, it looks like, to come in right in front of Car. Or I thought he did. Yeah, there it is. Takes a little bit of time to get there.
Yep.
And now, well...
Just delayed out, just stalled out. Mongols have nothing here. They have 2 smokes and 1 flashbang to use. They don't have enough flashbangs to come through this smoke. It would have to be some god tier, perfectly placed flashbang. They also have no indication or no information of where Luminosity is playing, but it's a stack over towards the A bomb site. There's 4 members here. Mongols have been completely shut out every time they've tried to go B in any way.
And it's a triple, like, near... Oh, it's going to be a quad crossfire pretty soon here, too. Like, 4 players just spraying through. FNX is gone. What is this? Zilkenberg opening it up. Machine Gun catches Cold Zera as well. There's still enough time to wrap onto B if they want, because Machine Gun's already in position. Now it's going to be Fallen and Fur, and they're going for the stack again. As soon as they come out of Boiler, sup. Fur puts Sogu to sleep.
Machine Gun's the X factor here, though. This is a perfect angle. He should be able to get Fallen. He does. He finds that. That's going to be an easy one. Can't get the second, but Fur's brought down to 15 HP, and now he has really no concept of where they're going, although he does find a one-on-one. Pulls out the Tech 9. Not going to be able to get it yet, but he does find it eventually. So down to a one-on-one. This is completely doable. The bomb is planted, though.
That was like watching some LG play right there. NCL's going to take Fur in the end. There's just too many angles for Fur to worry about. But like how he just like tracks on with that Tech 9 Fur, when he's like his aim is so sick. It's like, okay, Fur. I've got 16 HP. I don't care. I'll fight you straight up with the Tech 9.
Yeah, he's been on fire this whole event so far. This is a sick way for him to show up. He's, what is that, 17 and 5?
Yeah. 17, 6, and 5.
Why not?
15, 1, and 2 for Fallen as well. Not too shabby, not too shabby. And, yeah, I mean, just everybody in Luminosity getting a piece of the action as well. They're all double digits. They're all looking solid. It's Mongols who are still, just struggling. And well, Fallen this time, all right, are they going to... How is he going to make this work? Is he just going to jump on the car crib style? I think he is. Yeah. And so does he ever get does he actually get a target?
Sogu finds one. That's over in Halls. So once again, Mongols have a man advantage. Last time they had this, they couldn't convert it. Got a little bit convoluted late in the round where they had success away from where the bomb was. So now they're going to have to find a way to get up towards one of these bomb sites, and Machine Gun's going to help him out. Fallen gets aggressive. He gets eliminated, so a 5-on-3 now. The best thing Mongols can do at this point is just group up. And the bomb's already going to go towards B, but they can't lose too many players over here at A, where there's still 3 guys sticking around.
Yeah, they're going to leave 1 man behind. That's Sogu, I believe, up in apartments. Fur gets caught out in CT. So Machine Gun willing to take that fight any day. I mean, if you're going to go toe-to-toe on aim with Machine Gun, in a fight like that where he's going to have the advantage, I mean, it really should be Machine Gun winning it 9 times out of 10. Cold with the long distance spray, though, will remove Machine Gun, and there's the lurk by Taco. He catches out Sogu, so now it's pretty straightforward here. It's a 2-on-3 retake. Menace, however, has picked up Fallen's AWP, and he's going to put it to good use. And it's just on Taco now. No saving now. He's just got to go into it, and it's not going to work. Zilkenberg is there, up close, and it's a 12-3 finish at the end of the half. Mongols, in the end, they actually pick up 3.
But just a dominant half. Even feels more dominant than 12-3, which is crazy to think about. But I mean, Luminosity, the way they postured throughout that entire half was just brutal for Mongolz to deal with.
It was, I mean, all-out lack of respect, basically, coming in from Luminosity.
Which is how you should play it if you're the top team. You gotta. Why not? Just do that until Mongolz forces you to respect them. And Luminosity never really had to change that style of just aggression across the map. you know, they're either finding one-on-ones they win, or, you know, there's a couple rounds where Cold was able to push in those halls and just gain massive map control.
Curious. I mean, okay, it's pretty balanced across both teams now. 4 Kevlar on each. Utility on NCL. And, well, Zilkenberg, he's going to get caught out by Cold. Straight running Glock to the face. And, well, now there's a USP for Cold, which is even worse because he hits headshots all day, every day with this thing.
And this is very measured from Luminosity. The reason they don't rush into that B bomb site is, you know, you don't want to get that first kill, and maybe Mongolz have 2 or 3 other players just hiding in the B bomb site. Maybe that's a trap to lure you there, but good lord.
What?
FNX, just see you later. Oh my lord, there it is again.
Yeah, Cold. Cold with that USP, man. And now, man, Taco just tapping him away. It's so good, not able to connect. And NCL is going to be here. He's going to take that fight with Taco, and he gets a nice headshot. But it's still a 1v4 retake, and the bomb is going to get planted over on the A site. So there really isn't a whole lot that he can hope to do here unless Luminosity really just don't respect him. They don't. Cold is just like, where you at?
Here's one of the cool things, because when we were in Taipei, Zilkenberg we saw had like a really sick USP throughout that event. Like,
yeah.
he was getting triple kill, 4 kills on their CT side pistol rounds. That time you can see he has the aim, so he feels confident in taking that fight, and he might have been able to take 1 or 2 out if they had kept going forward. But the difference is that Mongolz didn't do. Luminosity there throws that flashbang, makes him turn away, makes him feel uncomfortable, applies some pressure before they peek, and he just gets eliminated for free. So that's one of the things Mongolz didn't do is use these nades. And look at it again. Zilkenberg behind this car, completely blind. Molotovs come out, and he's forced into a peek, and FNX is prepared for it. Just takes him out.
And then things got awkward here. Menace, though, he's going to drop a man low, but then he's getting wrapped on. They're just all over the place. He battles his way through. He manages to take out Taco, but Fur's going to take out Machine Gun in turn. And now they're on the hunt. Fur wants to get revenge for his fallen teammate. The bomb is dropped at top mid as well, so they will have to deal with that eventually. NCL is going to go down on the B site. And yeah, Menace, what can he really hope to achieve here? Not a whole lot. Cold will find him. So spread pretty much all across. Not able to save that AK, unfortunately, at the end there. It is still pretty quick, that end of round, you know, swap over to the next one.
Yep. A little bit brutal.
For saving guns, sometimes that's a little heartbreaking. Just like, no, it was right there.
Come on. You need to stretch Armstrong.
Worst thing is when it's actually like the CSGO thing, where it's like you're trying to hit, you know, use on the...
E doesn't work.
And it doesn't pop up, right?
How frustrating is that?
I know. Dude, that's like, you need a warranty on your keyboard.
Like, don't worry, I got the op. Like, oh, man, sorry.
Well, I mean, let's see, 14-3, and Mongolz just straight getting murdered right now. And yeah, again, Luminosity, they're just going to go ahead, clear out all the angles on the A site, realize, wait a second, nobody's here. It was, unfortunately for Mongolz, a stack on the B site, and now FNX turns it into a bit of a shooting gallery. NCL will be able to bring it back a little bit here, and Menace up in apartments catches Fallen hopping.
Yeah, but despite a couple kills, it's a 3-on-3. There's really no chance at winning this. Cold drops him. There's one member in CT spawn to cut off rotations. Fur takes a battle. Why not? Trying to pad the stats, and Machine Gun ends that idea.
Now, can they actually pull this off? No Kevlar, though. So, I mean, well, Talk About Close should be able to, annihilate Machine Gun. Doesn't realize that he's getting flanked by NCL, though, so surprise, surprise. It's the pre-fire from Taco, and he just barely manages to make it out. Nade is going to go on him. Ow, man. Like, Taco actually got the nade kill.
With the assist. 15-3 now.
And it is just going all over the place, man. I'm actually watching the cameras.
I have too, both of them. Going a little nuts.
It's a good thing we don't suffer from motion sickness.
Why not?
That's how hyped the crowd is right now. They're trying to hold them back. They just can't keep the cameras still. Like, please, guys. The cameras are expensive. Don't break them.
So now it comes out, how aggressive are Mongolz going to be? They don't have a lot of nades. They're going to have to be aggressive. They're out of smokes already. Minute and 35. I mean, basically just the round started, and they already only have 3 flashbangs left. So this is going to be a tough spot. Plenty of opportunities for LG to find some picks, and Fur's going to go for it. But there's Machine Gun. Takes that duel, wins it, and I don't think Cold knows that one member is over in Closet. That's so good. He's going to get a free kill.
Nicely done. So good, biding his time. He was flashed, but still waiting patiently. Manages to pick up the 1 kill, and now it is just 3 players remaining here for Luminosity. And they're going to get control of top Banana, so that could set it up for a Banana take eventually here for a B take. They've got the smokes, and they've got a single Molotov. And Fallen actually hits that shot on his Zilkenberg. Ridiculous. Just a pixel, gets headshot, doesn't matter. He has the op, he kills you anyway, NCL. And now they're just going to press forward. Luminosity, no fear. It's time to get work done. And FNX, is he going to be able to close up on this? They need to figure out where Zilkenberg is playing from. They think he's in construction, and he's going to peek out, pick up 1 kill. Zilkenberg with the double spray down. That makes all the difference. It's now on Fallen, and he's not going to be there for long. Zilkenberg finally stepping up, showing a little bit of what he's capable of.
Well, now he's got the op.
And he is not the first to break 10. It's actually Menace who has 10 frags.
Yeah, he's been, I mean, he's been the only one really in the first half that showed up early on with hitting some nice shots, but yeah, just a really long way to go. That was actually a really smart play from Zilkenberg. He gets brought down to like 20 HP by Fallen like immediately, and then he has the mobility, he has the movement to get towards triple, and actually Luminosity had no idea he got there. So, gonna be banana control for FNX. He bounces a nade the wrong way. Smoke blocks him off as well. All members of LG, 4 guys in this banana, and actually Zilkenberg with his off. You're about to have a lot of pressure put onto you.
They're just deciding to make it easier for Mongolz. They're showing a little bit of mercy, Moses. That's what's happening.
There's gonna be a flash, and they're just gonna be done.
Is
waiting for it. Molotov flash combinations.
Are they waiting for that smoke to clear? Wise play here from Mongolz. So at least taking a little bit of a safer angle here. NCL is actually going to be rotating off, though. So unfortunately, it's all on Zilkenberg, and he's actually going to put himself in basically the worst spot possible.
Yep.
Is he Shoxy? He's won. He could get a second, but no, he decides to jump, and Fallen's going to get the punish.
Is he Shoxy?
You remember that?
I do remember that.
Oh, yeah. He's still a god to me, Moses.
Long way to go. Long way to go to become Shoxy. But here's just a standard execute onto this B-bomb site. Molotovs for oranges, smokes for Spindle and CT spawn. And NCL is going to be completely blocked off. He's now got to commit to the bomb site, and he's isolated here, but Luminosity waiting for any kind of counter nades before they really throw these Molotovs, and look at it, the fire rains in.
I'm so happy right now. Sogu's going to be able to take out the first man through. That's Taco down. NCL crouching behind the fountain, and what a perfect crossfire hold there from Mongolz. Just completely shut down Luminosity, but it's been so long since we've seen Luminosity go for the Burning Ring of Fire on B-side Inferno. That is sick. They were one of the first teams to really perfect that. Just Molotovs everywhere, nowhere to hide.
Yeah, it is pretty cool to see that and then watch it just get smacked down, huh?
True, true.
I mean, it's been a while since we've seen it. Maybe there's good reason.
Yeah, that one spot behind Fountain actually just not getting covered there. But I wonder, was it a shot through the smoke that caught the first man? I'm wondering. Regardless, the way that it pans out now, Luminosity are actually going to have to sit on pistols for this round. So let's see, Machine Gun. Gonna go ahead and set up that bottom banana smoke. Easily done.
They double smoked it though. So a little bit of a mistake. They're up against pistols, so oh, there's a pop flash. NCL has to fall back. Machine Gun's the only one up there, and now he finally gets unblind. He gets into the action. He's gonna get 3 at the end. Machine Gun does fall. He had 2.
That was pretty slick though by NCL. Good control. Can get a little hectic sometimes when you got all those bodies running at you. You're just like, okay, and then you just go full spray. Instead, he just, he controls it, takes his time, and locks it down. So Mongolz on the CT side, where it isn't so much about the strategy, it is all about more like the team play on the sides together, and then just managing to land those sprays. They are doing a better job.
Yeah, I'd like to see him go on a little bit of a run here, obviously, but I want to see Zilkenberg give us some stuff because he was really cool to watch in Taipei with this AWP. He grabs the angle, but there it is, the pop flash. He's got to fall back, and he just dies.
Oh, wow, first not stopping. NCL's going to be like, he's not having none of that, and Menace pushes into apartments. FNX is there for the refrag. Doesn't expect the second man, but that doesn't matter. Machine Gun fluffs the shot, and it's down to NCL and Sogu now to hold things off here for before Luminosity get out onto that A site, but it's not going to happen. Sogu, he's rotating back around, but they're so quick through the apartments, Luminosity, they might be able to make their way out, and yes, they already have a man in pit. And
yeah.
coldzera has that bomb up on balcony. That could have got awkward, but he is going to be able to get down onto that side eventually.
Yeah, but NCL is going to get aggressive behind the smoke, so we had a little bit of cover to get into the site, but there's a nice stack from Pit and the bomb site. He can't do it, so all on Sogu, 1 on 3, and he's going to fall to cold as well, so 16-6. Saw a little bit out of Mongolz on that CT side, but that Terra side, they just didn't have enough to really... I mean, when you only get 3 rounds, you don't really have great window of opportunity to really stack some of that CT together.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Once they start getting the ball rolling, it's just too little too late, you're right. And then Luminosity also tightened up their game. I think once they went on Eco, they're like, okay, let's go ahead and...
stamp this out before it even starts.
Exactly, right? We're not going to waste any more energy, and I think that's the main thing. This is a long day. You're playing all day long pretty much if you're a player. It's not just like 1 best of 3 and then you go back to your hotel and rest.
Right.
You got match after match. So every little bit of energy that you have right now, you have to manage. You have to hold on to it. And so that's actually really well done there by Luminosity to close things out. Machine Gun, actually, I mean, we kind of do have to mention Machine Gun, though, seeing as how he is the point man for the Mongols. We really didn't see him land too many shots this series.
No, and he's the one that, from Taipei, was just kind of the duelist. I think he's the one who's most affected by this jump up to the level of play. But that's going to be something that Mongols will have to go back, get on the drawing board, and be like, how do we make these battles a little bit easier? Because we see it all the time. You see these big aimers come in, and once they face these new competition, everyone's got sick aim. All of a sudden, it becomes that extra flashbang, that extra Molotov, whatever you can do to apply pressure to somebody, get them off their game when you take that peak. And Mongolz pointed out a couple times, just weren't able to do it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that is it. I mean, if you are just going for straight aim, it isn't going to cut it. But still, I think it's also like just the mentality.
Yeah.
Just not used to playing at this kind of level against this quality of team. And I mean, there is a pretty significant difference between Mouse Sports, NiP, and then once you start stepping up into the top 3 of this group, where it's like the Fnatic, the Na'Vi, the Luminosity, who are sitting at the top of this group right now.
Yeah, they're having a good day, aren't
they?
Dude,
they're just beasting.
Yeah, yeah.
They've got 2 maps left, and they should actually be just the easier teams, right?
Right.
I mean, Mouse and NiP.
Quote, unquote.
Yeah, Mouse and NiP are the last 2 teams that they have to play.
Yep.
So what? They boosted Na'Vi first.
Yep.
And they took the fight to Fnatic. Won
now
that.
Mongolz.
And now it's just NiP and Mouse left for Luminosity to trounce. We'll see if they get the ace, or if it winds up into a quad kill. And still, I think that they've got that. I think that they've got that first seed pretty much on lock. Let's go ahead and hear from basically the floor now. Seems like we have OJ ready with an interview.
Thank you, lovers. That was easier than the last game, wasn't it? It was easier than playing Fnatic.
Yeah, that match was less difficult than the others. Mongolz is a very young team. They just started appearing in the CSGO international scene. So I'm glad they're here. It's a pleasure to have them playing with us, and it was a good experience.
Do you approach it differently when you're taking on a team that you maybe have never played before and don't know much about? How do you approach it as a team?
I mean, these guys, we have been talking before the game. They beat Renegades Inferno, so they're not bad. They know how to play. And we are a little scared on some executions they could make. That's why we tried to aggro a little on the beginning, so we could make them a little scared and mess a little with their minds. And they have good aim. Those guys are good players. They're just starting, as I said. If you look, some examples, our team last year, we started being knocked out for a lot of teams, being crushed, and that's how we start. So they're on the right path.
Well, you talk about them being where you were last year, and if we look at where you are right now, you're just being Fnatic. Some people talk about you as being the 2nd best team in the world. Would you go over and give them any advice?
Well, I think they should stay with the same lineup if possible and try to evolve together until they reach their maximum cap. You never know when you need to do change. I mean, if the team is practicing, if the team has the right feeling, the right mindset, and they are always accomplishing something more, then you should stay with the same lineup and keep practicing. That's what they did. And when you feel there's no more room to improve, then you make changes. So I think Mongolz needs to stay practicing, stay playing the tournaments. I think there are a lot of more tournaments happening on the region right now, so that's awesome. And I hope to see more from them in the future.
And with your lineup, you're talking about if a lineup's working, it's getting to where it needs to be before you hit that cap, before you hit that limit of where you go to. How much further can Luminosity go with how good you can get?
Yeah, I think we still need to prove a lot, and I think we still need to win big titles. That's what we're trying to achieve. And that would mean everything for us, and I think we still have a lot of more room to improve. Our players, individually speaking, we as a team learning, even emotional-wise speaking, we need to get used to the situations where the game are very close and you cannot make mistakes, otherwise you're going to throw the match. So we have a lot to improve, and that's how life is in Counter-Strike. You'll never know everything. Every day you can learn something, even from less experienced teams like Mongolz.
Every day is a school day, so let's hand it back to Matt. There you go, Luminosity, 3 wins on the board.
I wish every day was a school day, OJ, because I was a high school hero. As of now, I'm a failure, but we're still moving on in life. Once again, joined by Yanko and Anders. Guys, not as much to talk about.
What heroic stuff did you do in high school, Matt?
I'm not sure it's stream appropriate, but it might be.
Are we back to the banana theme, are we?
Yeah, we are, actually.
All right.
Yeah. I'm not going into my heroics in high school.
Someone could really do a Google search, find out, just local Canadian stuff.
Yeah, there's only about 6 high schools in Canada. They'll find it real easy.
There we go.
But at least we have high schools in Canada, right, Yanko?
Damn.
He's so cold. This is his response to when he has nothing. He just looks tough. But it works. It works. It's adorable. Keep it up. Speaking of adorable, Mongolz, their attempt in this game didn't quite come out as they would have liked. But again, we did talk about this when we hard group. Doesn't get any easier for them because they play Fnatic next. But let's look back on this one a little bit. Like Moses said, they kind of have that peaking style, that one-on-one duel style. And unfortunately, in this skilled matchup...
I wouldn't pay too much attention to what Moses said. He also said they're going to beat Mouse Sports. So, I mean...
Everyone's getting something.
At least he didn't say that they were going to go 5-0 like NIP.
I told them they're not going to get double digits against a single team in this group. So far, again, Yanko right, Moses wrong.
Surprise, surprise.
Based on what you said, though, I'm surprised that they ended up on Inferno. I mean, of all the maps you could play where you could get like some space to run around, like
Dust
Madden, yeah, Dust 2, Cash, like almost anything, I think. Mirage, yeah, like, you know, some maps where you could actually get really good fights in. Inferno, it's so hard to get fights as ST, especially if the CTs are good. So.
But what Fallen pointed out as well, they did beat Renegades on the map, so maybe they thought, you know, maybe it's, I mean, probably it's a strong map for them, seeing as how they want to play it. But also it's important to, you know, you guys have seen them in action in Taipei, and, you know, talking about Machine and Zilkenberg, Machine Gun, how they're the two best players, CKamers and so on. You need to put that into context for, like, the people who haven't seen them as well. Yeah, they're probably very good aimers, but in comparison to the opponents they had, you know, you say that they're good aimers and they play against teams who have players like Fur, Cold Zera, I don't know, Olofmeister and so on. So even if they're good for their region, here they're playing against the top dogs, and you know that's what they're getting served right now.
Yeah, I think that's a fair way of putting it. There's not really much we can look at. They obviously now have lost all of the games that they've played. Not surprisingly, this isn't meant to dig into them by any means. But they've got one more coming up against Fnatic. Now, would they look to try and go more? Do you think the map might give them a bit? Look, I don't expect them to win the game. I'm not going to start throwing that out here. But do you think switching map might give them a little bit more confidence?
You're not going to go, you know, all Henry G on us. That's good to know.
No, I'm not.
I don't know. I'd like to see them play more open map. You know, if you have people like Silkenberg and like Machine Gun, let them play, let them run wild. See if you can't get up to like 8 or 9 rounds just based off of them having like some crazy rounds. I mean, I think that would be more interesting anyway.
I think it's going to be a good warm-up map for Fnatic for their game against Mousesports.
Yeah, that's the last challenge for Fnatic as we are getting to the close of the day. Believe it or not, we've got 2 more matches, I believe, on this stream. If not, I think it's 2 more. Yeah, that's it. So, yes, because interestingly enough, just so those watching know, the final matches